Hi everyone, in today's video it's all about how to deal with an overflowing email inbox. Hey, welcome back to the channel. My name is Caroline. I teach and I research and I work at a UK university. If you're new around here, welcome to our little academic space on YouTube. Today I wanted to dive in and talk a little bit about dealing with an academic inbox. I don't know how many of you have this problem as well, but it just seems to me that we are getting more and more emails. And last week I decided drastic measures were needed, and it was time to tackle what was, quite frankly, a ridiculous inbox. And I don't know about you, but I was finding it a little bit tricky to deal with my inbox and to work out which emails I dealt with and which emails needed to be processed, which emails I could ignore. And I think I just let my system kind of slide. And it was time for a revamp, a refresh, to make sure that I was ready for the last few weeks of semester. And it took me a while. So I put some time in my diary to do this and tackle once and for all getting everything sorted out again. And it did take me a good few hours and several cups of tea, but I thought I'd share a little bit about what I did and the tactics I used. And in the comments, I'd love to hear your tactics for maintaining and keeping and dealing with an ever overflowing academic inbox. The first thing I did is, I don't know how your university does it, but mine has this system where when an email arrives at your inbox, it either goes into what's called the focused folder or the other folder. And I've spoken to my colleagues about this. I'm not quite sure what the metrics they're using are to decide whether an email is worthy of the focused folder or the other folder. But it seems to me that the other folder is like one step up from a kind of junk folder, and it's putting emails in there that it thinks might not be relevant to you. And so I looked in my other folder, and I think I had, now this is quite bad, I had 600 emails. Quite a lot of them had been unread because I tend to focus on my focused inbox, which is where the majority of my emails go. So the first thing I did was I tackled this other folder, and quite a lot of those emails could just be deleted. They weren't relevant. They were things coming in either to other people or trying to sell me things, or things that were really not connected at all to university. So the first thing I did was I was quite brutal and I completely cleared out that folder. So the majority of emails got deleted, and a few of them got saved into my own personal foldering system. Now, I've run an email inbox foldering system ever since I started the position. And so what I do is I have different categories. I now have 24 folders with subfolders. And so some of them are for my PhD students, some of them are for colleagues at the university, colleagues outside the university, research grant proposals, particular projects. I have this kind of folder structure. And what I'd got a bit lax at doing was moving my emails into that folder structure once I dealt and processed with them. So the next thing I needed to do was to sort out all of that. So the way I tackled it was I put the inbox, the focus folder inbox, into kind of name order. So not by date, I grouped it by name. And then I literally grabbed chunks of emails and chucked them across into my own foldering system. So if I had a particular colleague's name, I'd get all their emails and I would pop it across into their folder. And that took a while. I was there for some time moving these emails across, because at the same time I was trying to delete ones that I didn't need. And I don't know about you, but this is quite hard. Sometimes you think, oh, will I need to revisit that email? Will I need to show that we'd made that decision at this particular time? And so it's quite difficult, I think, to know sometimes which emails you can delete and which emails you can't delete. Some very clearly, though, can be deleted. Some kind of minor ones or chit-chatty ones, they can go. So again, I tried to be brutal. And as I sorted out my focused inbox into my own folders, I tried to also delete as I went. And it did take quite a long time. But the result was that my inbox, my focus folder, which I think must have had, I don't know, hundreds and hundreds of items in, I got it down to just 20. And my goal is to always end the week with a maximum of 10 emails in that focused inbox. And that is going to be a tough challenge, I think, because it'll make me file and folder these emails as I go along, but also it means that I need to action these emails. And I'm not bad at actioning emails. I'm very good usually at replying to students and replying to colleagues. It's just sometimes an email comes in and you have to sit on it for a while, or it's about a meeting the next week and you can't action it straight away. And I just need to get really diligent with those emails at either putting them into the folder structure I have, or just making a note that I've dealt with it and then getting rid of them. So I think it's going to be an interesting challenge for the next few weeks. Now, you could ask, why am I kind of self-sorting the emails like this into my own foldering structure? Because at my university, you can just search for keywords and names and it will pop up the relevant emails. But I personally don't work very well when my inbox feels just so full. So if I've moved emails from this kind of focus folder into my own foldering system, I view those emails as having been dealt and processed. And it means my mind only needs to focus on the emails that are left and like my kind of clear vision, my kind of field of vision. So this is my tactic. I've tried it now for, I've got 2 weeks, coming up for 2 weeks, and I feel better already. It's just nice to look at my inbox and not to feel overwhelmed. It is crazy how many emails you receive, and I'm sure this is true of many, many businesses, and it's not just academia. But you get an awful lot of emails, from student issues, people want to know things in finance, people inviting you to conferences, inviting you to meetings, staff news, keeping up with the collaborators. There's just a lot of emails. And it's quite interesting, I think, the expectation on when academic colleagues will reply to those emails. And I think it used to be that students would or should expect to reply within 3 working days. And I think increasingly students are expecting or feeling that they need to get a reply quicker and sooner than that period. And I know many of my colleagues try to work on a faster system than the 3 working days. And I try to, if it's a quick email or something I can send out quickly, I try to reply as quickly as I can. But the other thing I try not to do is I try not to be checking my email inbox all the time. It's really easy when you're working on something and then an email pops up and you see that little notification pop up in the corner of your screen. You're like, oh yes, I can action that now. But it pulls you away from the task that you were actually working on in the first place. So again, I'm trying to get tough with myself and only check emails at certain points during the day. And when I check them at the end of the day, I'm trying to be tougher to make sure I file and delete those that can actually go out my main inbox. This is the tactic. It's making me feel better. I know some of my colleagues just run with an inbox that's got thousands of emails in and they just use the search function. But yeah, that's not my way of doing it. But I'd also love to know your tactics. How do you deal with your email inbox? Do you have a system? Are you trying to delete everything? Do you have a folding structure? Do you let the whole set of emails just be there as one continual inbox? What do you do? Because it's such a challenge these days. We are all getting so much of this correspondence by email. How do we deal with it? And in another week, I want to chat a little bit as well about how does email interface with the other tools that we're using. So, we have like these kind of chat folder spaces, these shared drives, these shared form spaces. And I'm noticing colleagues are starting necessarily not to send you an email, but they put a comment in these kind of chat areas that we have. And I'm used to checking my emails, and I don't think I'm checking those chat shared spaces frequently enough to make sure I'm seeing all the messages. So that's a really interesting new kind of challenge, is how we interface emails and these kind of chat areas that universities are setting up to make sure we don't miss something. But yeah, let me know, how do you deal with your email inbox? Let me know in the comments. It's fantastic to hear what your kind of opinions are and thoughts are. Thanks to people who joined for the live stream. I'm going to keep doing them on the 15th. So if you fancy having a chat live on the 15th, the next one will, I guess, now be in May. And I'm going to go back to using my old laptop, so we won't have that issue with the webcam not being compatible. So that'll be a lot easier and a lot better. But whatever you're up to, whether you're studying for your finals or whether you're now going to get ready to do your marking, maybe you're about to start a new job, I hope things are going really well for you. Leave me a note in the comments. Let me know what you're up to. And I will see you in a couple of weeks for another one of these videos, and on the 15th of May for our next live. So yeah, take care, and I'll see you in a fortnight. Bye.